You know, I'm gonna go ahead and say this um, only because only because this whole thing of going live on Instagram. Oh, that's what I'm gonna say about that. Say about that. Let me go ahead and get myself together because I'm having a moment already dealing with going live on Instagram. You know, it's not where I thrive, and I get why they would like people to stream there and blah blah blah. Yeah, we're not gonna do it that much longer. So we'll see what happens. In the meantime, what I am going to do is we are going to get ready to have this conversation about self-love versus Valentine's Day. And we're gonna start with a little theme music. Oh man, I don't even know what to say right now. I really don't know what to say because this sometimes tech will be teching, right? Tech will be teching. So supposedly all the things are working. I'm going to assume that we're working on Instagram. I'm going to assume it. I'm just going to, I really can't tell you if it is or if it isn't. I mean, it's been having issues, so it is what it is. But let me just strike that and start over. Hello, good evening. My name is Gwendolyn 𝐒𝐞𝐥𝐟-𝐬𝐧'C, and I am here for Guuuuurl Listen. And we are streaming live to Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. And I'm going to go ahead and call it YouTube, a better experience. So let's just all decide together right here, right now, that we are going to come over to YouTube and call it a day. Is what I am suggesting. I am standing behind that message. That is where I am. Because the rest of this, it's not even worth it. It's not worth it. And while we're there, let's look at some of the community walking in. My mom is here. Good evening, mother. How are you? Good evening. We have, was that Kate? Kate is here. Good evening. Hey, Kate is here. Good evening. Cass Lou is here as well. Good evening and blessings to you, ma'am. We also have Ron Foster here in the building. Hello to you, sir. We are going to have a really good conversation. I'm gonna go ahead and claim it because this is what we're going to do. But I want to do a couple of what is it? Public service announcements. I'm gonna say that. Yes, because first of all, if you're enjoying what we do here, you should get on GRH Jack email list. I got more than one podcast. Like, a sister has a lot to talk about. I'm sorry. No, I'm not. No, I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry at all. But we do have our guest here. Our guest today is going to be Gary Jackson Jr. He's going to be joining us as in I don't know, right now? Right now? How are you, sir? How are you?
I am doing so very well. Such good news today. So I'm in higher spirits than what I usually am.
Oh. All right. Well, I believe that every day's a good day if we get to open our eyes and see our family and friends. Every day's a good day. But I understand. Yeah. I understand where you're coming from because it's just good to get really good news. And, and we just so happen to be talking about a little bit of self-love and Valentine's Day today, right? Yes, we are. And look at this. Your friends are coming in.
Hey.
Ron says, hi, Gary. My mama is sending you salutations as well. So look at that.
Hi to both of y'all.
Look at that. All right.
Oh, I feel the love. I feel the love. I really do.
Kate is saying hello as well. Kate, to you. See to you.
I think I'm
Feeling all
doing it
the
right.
love right now. All right, sir. We have a lot that I would like to get through, so we are going to get into our topic of the day, and it is self-love versus that ain't it, girl. That ain't even it. Okay, all that says is y'all should get on my email list. That's what that said. Self-love day versus Valentine's Day. Sometimes you guys send those subliminal messages, and we are doing that today. So that's what that is. That's our topic. That's our topic. Okay, so let me get into some things really quick. And let's just start with this. What is your perspective on Valentine's Day? Let's go with that.
My perspective on Valentine's Day is, although it's meant to be a very special day, I feel like the other 364 days, or if we're on leap year, that extra day, all those days should be filled with love, affection, and appreciation for whomever it is, friend, significant other, whatever, whoever, even a stranger on the street. It should be filled Valentine's Day throughout the year. If that's so deemed, it shouldn't be just one individual day. You show this much love, and then the rest of the days, nothing exists.
Yeah, I agree with that completely. We don't really celebrate Valentine's Day. Now, I will tell you this because I picked this up yesterday from Mr. Jack. I did pick up some chocolates.
Hey.
I did pick up some chocolates. He's only going to eat like 2 pieces. I'm going to get the rest.
So this is a gift for yourself.
Even, I like the chocolates, but I can eat chocolate all year round. But I do agree that waiting for just one particular day to go all out, you can do that any time of the year. Like at any time, at any moment, you could just shower someone with flowers and cards and whatever their favorite something is. The whole idea of waiting for this one particular day, I'm over it. If I can say that. Oh yeah, I just said it. Yeah, I'm over it. I don't. We do stuff throughout the year versus here's this one day and we're going to do this. Is like why aren't we doing more? Not that we're not, right? But there seems to be, the message is this extra pressure to show up when you have Valentine's Day approaching, right? Now, really quick background, if you would you share your perspective? Because I'm coming in as the married woman in this relationship in terms of our conversation.
Oh, yeah. I am single currently. My perspective on Valentine's Day is it is something that can be deemed as special. I haven't had very many good ones, but the few good ones that I have had, it's been from a mostly healthy relationship. So much like how you said, you're doing stuff throughout the year, not just on this one day. And you could do something maybe a little bit special, but I want to make sure from my perspective, I'm showering and showing that appreciation for my significant person at that time. And it's not just focused on that one day. And I do agree with you. It is a lot of pressure to get it right just because of the commercialization and just the way it kind of triggers and makes you feel if you're not in something. It kind of gives you a little bit of pressure.
Right. Because there's been a Ron says, can you feel the love? His singing voice. And Ron's singing voice. And Mr. Jack is just fine. He's fine. I mean, he's not the biggest chocolate person. So now he will eat chocolate. He's got a nice bag of Reese's right now, Reese's Buttercups. So he's fine. It's just that some chocolate he likes more than others, But there is that message that if you don't have someone to shower you on Valentine's Day, that you're less than. And for those who are in the crowd, we would love to know how you feel about Valentine's Day. Is it something that should be just this one big day to go all out? Or should we restruct that message and say, look, if I'm going to share some love with you, it's going to be all the time and out of the blue. And just because waiting for this one day is like, then you got to think, is it not to say like, is it legit? We know it's legit, maybe, but all this pressure to show up, because then it becomes, well, what did you get for Valentine's Day? But we have seen Self-Love Day, which is the day before, and then people are also doing Galentine's Day, where you and your girlfriends do a little something for each other. And me personally, I've been doing Self-Love Day for years. So the idea of waiting for someone to give me something, I mean, it's nice, but I don't have that expectation.
Yeah. Definitely don't have the expectation. Like, if I want something, I kind of go ahead and get it. My mom and my brother said a couple of Christmases ago, what do you get the man that has everything? I don't know.
Good question.
They assume that I have everything because most of the time, if I'm talking about something or naming something, I already have it in my mind, a budget or something like that. I'm going to go ahead and get it. If somebody beats me to it, more power to you. But for the most part, just about anything that I want, we'll say need, and some of the things that I want, I've gotten for myself.
I feel you there. And I like how Hater is like, no, this is Hater. Not sure why it's showing Kate. Well, who is Kate?
Who is Kate? Yes.
Who is Kate? I'm thinking, I'm like, I thought, okay, so I have a friend. So I thought, oh, and okay, so clearly that's not the person I was. Oops, sorry, Hater. But hello, Hater. Hi.
How you doing, Hater?
Now, Ron says he will use Valentine's Day to celebrate his clients. Oh,
that's a
business perspective.
That's a great perspective. Speaking of, I heard Beyonce's song "Me, Myself, and I" not too long ago, right? And I forgot how much I loved it, and it's really just a chorus in these couple of lines, but the lines are "Me, myself, and I." That's all I got in the end. That's what I found out, and it's, of course, the beat goes so well with it or whatever, but that's such a powerful statement, right? And I feel like that's so perfect for what we're talking about. Honestly, that is all that you have. Me, myself, and I. If you can't give that to yourself, you can't expect it from outwards, right? So I just
that's
feel
also
like,
straight Virgo behavior.
Yeah, you go. I knew you was gonna go there. I wasn't even setting it up for that, but I knew you was gonna go there.
Straight Virgo behavior. Cass says the concept is good, but too commercial. Even the history of V-Day is not nice. Some do Love Day for self and others, or Valentine's Day. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot. So that brings us to our second point here, because I am seeing more people celebrate the self-love day more versus this message, this society message of you should be and you must be in a relationship, otherwise your life is less than. I mean, am I crazy? Okay, no. Don't answer that question.
I wanted to make you feel good. Of course you're not. Of course you're not.
But have you seen that trend as well?
Yeah, I feel like I can't put a finger on when it started or why it started. I have my own thoughts about that, but I feel like people are being more vocal about it because maybe they're more comfortable coming out saying it. Maybe they feel a bit safer or something like that. But I do feel like the pandemic had a lot of effect on when and why. And I think people took a lot of time to reflect on what's important. And I think a lot of folks found that they are important and they should celebrate themselves.
Oh, you just want to open up the can of worms. Okay, so I will say this because I know, like I said, Instagram Live has been having some issues, so that's just something to put out there. But looking at, hopefully it's still over there, because honestly, I can't tell you. But we got Hannah Boyd Miller in the house, and Instagram Lisa Seeley is there. Tris, just this. She said it's hard and every day. Love is hard and every day. There's also Love Is She Is, and Fifi's over there. Hey Fifi, and Kimmy too is over there too. But I will tell you this, and this is not a StreamYard thing, because I am using StreamYard, but StreamYard made us aware earlier today that Instagram has been having some That's interesting. That's interesting. Okay. So we were
Oh.
talking about being. Is it the gremlins? Perhaps it's the gremlins. Is that what we're thinking? Oh my goodness. Could it be? Could it be the gremlins? We're gonna find out the hard way. We're gonna find out the hard way because there's a lot going on there. So let us see what the deal is. You know what? Let me tell you. Okay, so let me tell you really quick. This is when you know. This is when you know that you're supposed to be a certain place. So earlier today, I was doing some upgrades in the studio, and one of them is adding a "Be Right Back" theme just in case technology goes out of whack. Now, I don't know if I put it into the universe. I really don't. Because I said, well, let me get something just in case the wheels fall off. Maybe I put it into the universe. I don't know.
Well, I want to say this. Everybody seemed to love the "Be Right Back." Like they were like, this is fancy. So I mean, kudos, right? Kudos.
Like, I kid you not. Ron and I were doing this thing just this afternoon. just this afternoon. And the lady said, hey, you know what? It's always good to have a be right back just in case the world turns upside down. You gotta like step away. Yeah.
I added it to my list, by the way. I added it to my list. Like I'm definitely taking from you. That's
Okay.
that's
I will
clutch.
say this. I can definitely see that Instagram Live is not, it is having issues. It's having its own separate issues, and then I'm having my own separate issues. Oh Lord. But you know what? Here's the deal. We keep on keeping on is what we do. Oh my God. That was like perfect timing. See, now had I not had that, had I not been prepared.
I could have cared to show till you got back.
You know what? You could have carried it. You could. All I know I was talking. I was like, "Is that me, or is like my face like not moving?" I mean, I hate that. I hate that. There's issues. There's issues with like I said, separate issue aside. Instagram Live is having issues. That's Instagram. It's not a StreamYard thing. So that is that. So I'm not worried about that. It is what it is. Now, as we were getting into before it got out of whack, we were talking about taking care of self, loving self, knowing that it's just me, myself, and I, and appreciating the love that is there. That is what we were doing. And we were also recognizing that Hater, for some reason, is in SK. He didn't know who Katie is. You don't know who Katie said. So I don't even know how my profile has showed up, but God is in charge. The devil is a liar. Yes, you are correct there, Hater.
I just want to know the story behind it. I feel like that's an interesting story.
Okay, let me get myself together. I am all out of whack here. I'm all out of whack.
Yeah.
This is why we have more than one camera. We're going to figure it all out. Not worry about that. Ron also says that a lot of people are single. Hainer says that he designs Valentine's Day. He redesigned Valentine's Day. He said, my wife and I have a tradition of taking our daughters out to dinner. Ooh, to a hibachi restaurant. That's awesome. And we use it as a day to just love on one another. I love that. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. Those are the stories we want. And yes, Ron also says that Instagram got me tripped up on my show this morning. Yeah, they're having their own thing. I mean, I'm just gonna call it. And let me not overstep Fifi's hearts, because it is about the love. It really is about the love. We see a lot of stuff here about the about all the things happening while stuff is going on, and you just never know. But I'm going to come to Cass. Lucia said, "Hey, it works out. It's a workout. It will work out. Let's send some and listen and book positive frequencies. When you are prepared." And I kid you not, it was literally at 4:00 Central. It was an idea, and I wrote it down. And I was like, "Oh yeah, I need to add that," and I was going to add it tomorrow. I said, well, I'm sitting here. Let me go ahead and add it now. Bam. I needed it. I think I put it into the universe. I should probably stop. I would also like $1 million.
I'm about to say, put some other stuff into the universe. Let's see what pops off. Like,
let me put that in the universe. Let me put that in the universe. But hey, here's our first little sidebar here. So what do you value about yourself? Because we were talking about that self-love and showing that appreciation to ourselves, right? What do you value about yourself?
So it's a few things that I value about myself, but number one, I guess it would be just the love that I try to give and the appreciation that I try to give. I think that's something that I'm not sure if everybody else can work on. I can only speak for myself. That was an area of growth that I could have had. And also my resiliency, I definitely value that. And just overall making sure that I'm accountable for my actions. I'm able to speak to what I have going on, whether it's an opportunity or a street. So I feel like those are 3 areas where I value the most and probably put in the most work, whether it's subconsciously or consciously. And I feel like that's what I value the most. But what about you? What do you value the most? I'm curious, Virgo energy here.
Virgo energy? Oh, man. Oh, wow. Yeah, you think I would have had an answer prepared, but I do not. I don't have one prepared. Okay, so I'm thinking off the top of my head. What I value the most is I do value my
I want to say she's going to say capacity, but I could be wrong. Am I frozen? Could y'all let me know if I'm frozen right now? I don't believe that I am. Okay, it's just G. Okay. Well, in terms of the reason why we ask that question is because I feel that some folks, when it comes to valuing themselves, I don't know, they put a high emphasis on it. And it's something that I live by myself. And I'm hoping that a lot of other people are living by those same terms. If not, you should pick up these things. You got to be your own cheerleader, your biggest cheerleader, if you will. So when it comes to valuing yourself, even if it's something that you think is a shortcoming, it's not a shortcoming, it's just something that you can tweak or, show improve. We're not perfect, we're not supposed to be, but one thing that I feel like we should be doing is actually like improving on ourselves. So we're not perfect specimens, so there's always room for improvement. And I guess we'll kind of go back to some of the other things. So I guess I want to hear from you guys. What do you guys value, you guys and gals, value the most about yourselves? Something that you just want to kind of put in there and maybe we can speak to. Uh-oh. We're having a couple. Oh, here we go. Maybe she's coming back. Okay.
Here's the deal. I have to wonder. I'm now wondering, because I could have sworn Ron had the same thing this morning. And I know that we are all over the place, people. Trust me, it's going to be all right because none of this shakes me. So resiliency, yeah, I'm going to push through. But I have to wonder if linking that Instagram thing, which caused its own issues on another tab, just forced all of this to go out of whack. It kicks me out of my own studio. Who does that? And I had to come back in.
Trying to put pressure on your guests. That's what it was. Trying to put some pressure on your guests. I'm over here sweating a little bit. I don't know. I was like, I don't know if they're gonna hear what I'm saying right now.
It will keep streaming. Yeah, it will keep streaming. But now look now. We're gonna have this is a serious conversation I'm trying to have here. Really. But all that aside, in real talk, in my former life, I would literally have plans A through F prepared. So kind of used to it, but not on this extreme. Okay, so as we were saying, resiliency. We are resilient, and I have a way of seeing the positives, even when it seems like all the gremlins are trying to bring you down. You can't stop this show. You're not going to do it. It's not going to happen. But no, I appreciate my capacity to really love others and accept them as they are, where they are, right? Because it was done for me. It is done for me on a daily basis. Lord knows. Okay, so as a Virgo, my mouth can get me into trouble sometimes if I wasn't very aware.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And I say this often, before I speak, I say to myself, when you put it out there, you can't unring the bell. And nothing irks me more than someone who says, oh, I didn't mean to say that, but yet you said it. So you didn't mean it. You meant it. I was just joking. No, you weren't. So I really do look at accepting people for who they are, where they are, loving in that capacity, my resilience to no matter what is going on, still rising to the top. Am I going to cry about it? I'm probably going to cry about it, step around, and then I'm like, okay, great. We're done with that. Let's move forward. Let's keep going. And to see the best in all situations. Even when I'm thinking, I could go to jail tonight. But we're going to see the best in all situations. We are. Cass says no one is perfect. There's always room for improvement. I don't even believe in perfect. I don't even know what that is. Right? We don't even know what that is. No one is perfect. And Ron says he loved that he is mostly balanced. Very good. Would love to hear what you guys value about yourself, and we can ever have a free-flowing conversation.
I want
to say this. let's say this, because I'm about to open a can of worms, and that gummy technology, you bet not even try to come for me during this conversation right now. But should a person expect a partner to upgrade their life if they were not living that life beforehand? I.e., and I'm gonna go ahead and call it. So some of these people, and I'm talking all genders, all ages. I don't care who you are and whatever. But the idea that your first date should be at like a Ruth Christie or a Capitol Grill, and you don't even take yourself to those places, that is a no. It's a no for Gwendolyn. A no all day. I don't know where that mindset comes from, but I'm gonna let you take it, Gary. I'm gonna let you start.
Well, if you want to open up a can of worms, why didn't you just say so? Technology be good to us. This is the part we wanted to get to. It. Should someone expect me to upgrade their life? I just speak for me, right? I can't speak for nobody else.
It's for you.
Thank God my mom's at another prior engagement, so I can go ahead and just let this little ring out. Hell no. I would never. And the thing about it is, much like yourself, if I can't do it for myself, then I'm not expecting it from someone else. And that's the same type of energy that I exude. And that's what I'm hoping. We're wishing that someone else had that same expectation. And it was something that I said a lot of things when I was younger that always like come around full circle in a sense. I told anyone that I was dating and or, took it to the next step and we were boyfriend and girlfriend. I'm not your Prince Charming. I'm not your white knight. Matter of fact, I'm probably a black knight out here. I'm here to ruin any and every fallacy that you can think of. I'm about to be the realest thing and the best thing, and you'll never find another one like me. So I'm not here to fulfill your dreams. Mm-hmm. I'm here to be me and me only. And if that's good, we're going to have a great time. If not, kick rocks.
I would have to say I agree. As does seem like some of our audience, and we would love to know your feelings. Ron says you must earn my coins.
That's beautiful.
Okay, could you give us more background on that, sir? He also says that he does not believe that the person should upgrade your life. So here's where I'm coming from. I am under the mindset of, the way we treat ourselves is how we teach others to treat us, right? So when I got with the Hubs, I was already enjoying a bottle of champagne a day. Champagne, sparkling wine, Prosecco, Cava, all the things. We were already doing that. We were already taking ourselves out. We were already enjoying certain activities. So when he came along, if he decided to do that, that was his choice. Getting fresh flowers to put them on the table, those were things I was already doing, right? So when people, and I'm not so sure if it's social media who made up this idea that there is this, you need to like wine and dine me on the first date, which I want to screw it. Side note. I met my husband on a dating app. I did. And it was a dear friend, Yvette, who said, take your online offline. She said, just do quick meet and greets. Meet at the tea shop, the coffee shop, just meet somewhere out in public, have a quick 15-minute get to know you. If it's vibing, great, then someone would get the first date. If it's not, then you already know. So there was never this expectation that the first time I get into my car to come see you, that I'm going to have you or myself pay like $100 a plus to like eat. Like, no, we're not. I just need to know who I'm talking to first. I don't need all this other stuff. Like, I don't know where that has come from, that people are getting this idea that I don't want to go to the Olive Garden. I don't want to go to here and there. If you've never been to some of these places, I'm not even sure why you would now say, I've just met XYZ and this person should go take me out and buy me like a dozen roses and get me a bottle of Cristal. You don't even drink champagne, let alone can you pronounce the word. I don't like who created this? I am just really confused.
So I say this. I think it's a piece of social media, but then I also think it's people's expectations. And that's something that I've been talking with friends about. Your expectations, those are yours. And you built this in your head. You're trying to match somebody to your expectations and not even taking it apart. Like you said, what the character is, whether y'all vibe, whether y'all even like each other. Like at the basis of it, can I stand being around you? And so the expectation gets built up. And a lot of times you might see somebody who can provide that. I have nothing in common. The energy is just off and it just overall sucks. It's just an overall bad thing. But because of the expectation of the lifestyle that you want has been fulfilled, you may see some people in some bad situations or pass over something that may be good because they don't live up to something that you can't even provide for yourself.
Let me go to the comments because I want to talk about that self. I want to talk about that self. I have to go. I have to definitely go there. My mother said that she is growing. I got to say, having watched my mother and my father coming through their marriage, both as partners and as individuals, never thought I would be quoting those people. I am quoting those people. I am quoting my mother and my dad, God bless me, every single day.
Every day.
How did that happen? But I've seen the growth, and it is beautiful for people to see like where you were and how far you've come. And some folks only see you in one light and they stay on your path. Well, let them stay there. Right, that's how I see it. Caslu says nurturing, engaging, humor, and resilient. That's what she values in herself. Definitely could relate to Gary's 3 selections. Oh, look at that! Look at that.
Yeah.
She also says that she's always looking to level up. Right. I mean, and when you have a partnership, if you're in a partnership, I pray that the both of you have the same wants and aspirations. I mean, you don't have to, but could.
And she said she was singing, so we got to hear this singing one day. I just,
we do have to hear this singing one day. Lisa says, I think both parties should upgrade one another in all aspects. Ooh, I like that.
That's a good one.
But for the social media post you are talking about, no. She knows damn well where she eats a steak for very well done.
Don't even know how to eat a steak. Don't even know how to use the fork and the knife in the combination. Come on now. It irks so many parts of me. It really does. And I know that a lot of times the light is put on women. Like women want guys to go out and buy their drinks at the bar and da-da-da. First of all, I don't know if people still do that because of all the roofies and stuff. I don't need you to buy anything for me. Like, I'm good. I got it. As a matter of fact, let me buy you a bottle. How about that? Hey, I like those words.
Those are my previous days when I was single and doing some things, but there is this message, and personally, I don't know if it was just made up to create a stir, because I gotta think if someone said, I would like to spend time with you, and I'll just say it, my husband and I, again, our first date was at his favorite restaurant. It's the Olive Garden. It's where we went. It's the Olive Garden. It's where we went the very first date. Right? Had a great conversation. And after that, we did a quick night out at the ice cream parlor, sat outside, enjoyed our ice cream, had a great conversation. I was running at that time, and he's not a runner, but he ran a race with me, right? He ran the race, came first in his age group.
All right, Mr. Jack. All right, Mr. Jack. I see you.
Mr. J was doing it. So, when people talk about what they're expecting, I don't know if they're looking at plenty is some really bad TV, some really jacked up short social media shorts and reels. It's not real life. I don't believe it's real life, because a lot of this stuff people just making. I mean, they're doing skits. But I will say this: if you are looking for someone and you've got like this list that you're working off of, you might want to burn that list. Just saying.
I'll give you a better one. If you have this said list, can you match everything that you're expecting from someone else? And if not, burn that list like Gigi said.
Because we expect a lot from other people. And I had this as a post some time ago. The only person responsible for your happiness and everything, well, that's you. Right? Yeah. So your partner can be a complement to your life and your values and all those things, but it's not their job to make you happy or to be fulfilled. Now, I will say that when Kenneth and I got together, we did talk about what we aspired for our life, both in personal development and financial, and we have been in tune. So that's a good thing. But we had that chat long before he even thought about putting a ring on his finger, right? Like we have open lines of communication. We talk so often that I feel pretty good about where we're going because I know where we're going and we're both working towards it. So when people have all these physical things, you know, those vows for those who want to get married, make sure you don't have to want to get married. You can just have a partner. That's just, I know
Very
people
true.
like, oh, y'all shacking up. Hey, look, ain't got nothing to do with me. That between you and somebody else, right? But when you are committed to somebody, you know, you're looking at good times and bad times. And some of us believe that everything and every day will be sunshine and rainbows, and there will be some serious storms. I pray you have the character to ride out that storm with your partner when they're not getting you the bottles of champagne and everything else. That's the idea, right?
I agree.
Cassie says, it is nice to be exposed or experience something different with a partner as long as positive and good energy, right? Like that's the deal. And yes, Mr. Jack is the guy. We talked for hours, absolutely hours. We were just having this conversation. And I go back to it, like people, first dates. First dates, well, I was hoping for some lobster and some, come on now, cut it out. Cut it out.
I had that ask me one time.
Right, you're not living that life right now.
I had that ask me one time. I said, who you was hoping for it from?
That is not the life you're living right now. I do want to show Fifi. Fifi is Felicia, as we say too. The 80-20 rule definitely applies to most relationships. It most certainly does. That definitely applies.
Great point.
It's a great point. Like when people are talking about that whole upgrading thing, and I want to say, Lisa, maybe it was you and I talking about this. I do know myself and my friend Joe talked about this. There are people, and I'm talking from a woman's perspective. I do know that you can be a house husband or a house do whatever. I know it goes both ways. So this is not gender specific, right? Because I do know a lot of at-home fathers. Because the mother brings the bacon, the loaves of bread, cheese, yeah. But when people want someone to keep them, right? Like I should just be able to show up and just be cute, and then you just take care of me. You know, you have to give something for that. I don't know what you're giving, but you don't get all of this care and everything for nothing. You know,
that's
the person who is like, oh, I have this and I have that. And that person has given up something that something might be their own financial independence because they're now depending on someone else to give them an allowance. If that's how you want to rock it, that's fine. I mean, that's cool. You can keep doing your thing. But you know, you have to ask yourself, what are you giving in exchange for this person to be doing all of this for you?
Yeah, I think that's the most important point, though. Like, we can get past the upgrading and wanting to experience things like that. Those are all important, but what are you willing to give? And I think the most important thing is if you think about the other person, if you're into them, whether it's, you know, boyfriend, girlfriend, however that is, or marriage, right? If you're thinking about the other person more than yourself and it's also reciprocated, it sounds like that'd be a beautiful thing. Because now I have somebody else's needs, thoughts, and wants in front of mine, and they're caring about mine. Now we're both feeling as though we're meeting in the middle.
I agree with that completely. We have so many great comments coming in. Cass says, hey, yes, aspirations and alignment, 100%. And there are a lot of people who do not, I mean, I was clear last year when I shared this. Before we tied the knot, we had a chat about our finances. I was like, how much debt are you bringing into this relationship? Like this whole deal of going in unknowing, just blind, and well, we're just both in love. I get that, but hey, that don't pay the bills. Okay. It does not put food on the table. It just does not, right? It doesn't work. So the idea of not having a serious conversation about what's going on before you get tied up with somebody, even if you're going to just live with someone, you got to figure out like who's doing what, versus, well, I just figured you would pay for blah, blah, blah. It's like, I don't know why you figured that.
Right.
I don't know how you figured it. Felicia also says, facts, reciprocate the love, respect, and the caring. And we, you know what, clearly, Lisa is, she's going to be our Spencer tonight. She lied, no.
Oh, man.
I do recall a time, I guess like the early 2000s, where people were running credit checks on their dates. I remember that. I remember people were going that far into, I need to see like what's going on before credit and background checks.
I think that was a step up into what we see now as like scams going on too. Yeah. Like that was like the baby test.
All the catfishing. It's like, okay. So here we are, because Valentine's Day is in a couple of weeks, right? 14. Okay, yeah. So should persons have expectations for gifts of any kind for Valentine's Day if they just started dating, like they literally just met?
Well, you know, if it was me, no, just it all depends on that said person, right? Like expectations, I say no, but it depends on, like you said, if you're having that conversation, then it's kind of like the groundwork has been set in a sense. But for me, I don't have any expectations if it was somebody who I just started dating. Now, would I do something? Yeah, I'll do a little something, right? Like nothing too big, nothing too grand. You know, maybe get some flowers, some candy or something like that. But should it be expectation? I don't believe so. But I don't think it should be expectation unless ground rules were set on whatever stage you're in, honestly. If you don't care about Valentine's Day, then you shouldn't expect nothing for Valentine's Day.
Right. Yeah, I agree with that. I know I don't have any expectations. Like I celebrate self-love day. It is all over my YouTube. I have done more than enough self-love like posts, because that's even when I was dating, and even after I was married. It's like, no, there is self-love day. So that's that. But I do know before we got married, I remember my birthday, he was asking if he could purchase a gift. And I will tell the story 5,000 times because this is real. You can't make this stuff up, people. But he asked if he could purchase a gift. And I was like, oh, well, that's nice. Sure. And he was like, what would you like? And I was like, I would like a Le Creuset Dutch oven. Like, who wouldn't? And the daughter said, Daddy, she doesn't want a pot. You need to get her some jewelry, right? You need to get her some jewelry. And my coworkers were thinking, okay, he's gonna propose because he set up a sunset horseback ride in Austin.
All right, Mr. J.
Right? Came with a picnic basket with chocolates and cheese and wine and stuff. And they were like, he's gonna propose to you, Gwendolyn. He's gonna do it. He's gonna do it. And I was like, no. And I did not want to get in my head. Because I thought, well, what if he doesn't? And then I thought, what if he does? So we're at the place and we have to wait for our host. And he goes back to the car and he's got this little bag, this little jewelry bag. I'm thinking, oh my God, here he comes. Lord have mercy. What in the world? And he brings out this box, and the box is bigger than a ring box. And I thought, ain't no damn ring. It ain't no damn Dutch oven. So it was the necklace. I love the necklace. I still have it, right? And I was like, oh, this is cute. Now, obviously, I'm a little upset because I got my hopes up, like maybe he is going to propose, and then he didn't propose. But at least he asked if he could purchase something versus, hey, I'm just going to give you something. You have like this. Now, do I owe him because he bought me this gift out of the blue? Right. So when we said we talked about a lot of stuff, we talked about a lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So Ron says marriage classes before I do's are awesome. They are. Most definitely. Cass also says supposed to have marriage counseling before marriage. Usually, it's always a great thing. You know, people get married for a variety of reasons at this point. A variety of reasons. For some, it is a financial thing. I mean, let's just call it is. You can either go up or you could also go down. All depends on how you pick it. People do it for who knows what, right?
Yeah.
Your reasons are your own, but we're not judging that. But it is good to sit down and think about why you're going to come into union with someone. Just gonna put that out there. Lisa says, I would run if a guy got me something that soon. It's cringe. See, okay, and this is why.
This is why you gotta have the conversation.
Why we went back to, is it okay if I do it?
Yeah.
And I was like, huh. But yeah, man, when he went to that car, I was like, oh no, he's going to the car. And, oh my goodness. And then I was like, this is what I get for even listening to my coworkers, get my heart like, oh my God, and then it didn't happen.
So it's one thing that I do try to do, and I've kind of trained myself, is not to really have any expectations. That way it's not, now I gotta perk up, because I don't, I try to just live it how it comes in that moment and not go too high or too low. And I know that's hard depending on what it is. A question that I don't know if the audience is dying to ask, I guess I'm asking. Did you ever get the Dutch up? No, maybe.
Okay, so let me I didn't get so it just so happened that Le Creuset came to Fort Worth that very next year. And they do what they call a factory to table. So for those of you who are foodies and people who love to cook, factory to table is their clearance house. So they bring all the pieces and they are like 50, 60, 70% off. And you literally wreck shop. So I did pick out a piece, and then this is my husband. He was still earning points. So we were engaged, but still earning points. He was like, well, if you got a box set, that would be one piece. And I said, don't you do it. Don't you? Yeah. So we got a box set. And then,
okay.
And then I bought I came with my own list, and I still bought other pieces, and then he bought like the gift and some other stuff. So yeah.
That's cool.
We were still purchasing things separately, even though we were engaged. But cool. Yes, so I did. I got a whole set.
I love it.
Fun. And I told him, I said, your wife likes knives, really great glassware, okay? And certain cookware. So that's where you're going to go for me. Nothing against jewelry, but I think
you and I had talked about this. You're more of functional gifts, things that you can use.
I am functional. I'm a functional person. At this point, I have an Amazon wish list. It has soft boxes, C-stands, other photography things on the list. So yeah, it's like, I got a C-stand. Yeah, because that's what Gwendolyn's looking for. I don't need like some of the other things. Kathleen said I would do at least a card. Oh, sentimental thought. All right. Or the date. No expectation though. Do something for self, like a pamper day for self-love each year, whether you have a partner or not, which I believe in that as well. And Lisa's like, damn, where's my Dutch oven? I'm telling you, man, my heart, it was a little hurt. I'm not gonna lie. It was a little hurt because I was like, I was thinking when I saw the bag, I thought he's about to propose. Like, oh my God. And that is not what happened.
She got it even better though. Like I feel like that was just set up, shout out to you, Mr. Jack. Shout out to you. You set that up right. I don't know if you meant to do it, but you set that up right. She got more.
I don't really know if he meant to do it. I don't know. I know like we went to dinner and he said, hey, is your ring finger itching? And I was like, well, no, I showered. I mean, I covered all my parts. And he was like, no,
I showered.
That is not what I was talking about. I was like, oh, I'm sorry. What are you? Because sometimes it goes over my head. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Like, what? I don't understand. And he was like, well, I was looking at rings. And then he was saying that he was gonna look at like a promise ring. And I was like, a promise ring? Like 40s something. We're not. What's the promise?
Tiffany Evans that made promise ring?
Yeah, it's like, we're not doing promise rings, man. That's not how that's working. But I will tell you all now that I was sick and he came to the house with some chicken soup and we went out to Steak and Shake to get some shakes so I can get out of the house because I was feeling really bad. And he proposed in the parking lot of Steak and Shake.
Hey.
And my response was, are you crazy? And then I said, maybe that's not the right answer.
Not yes. Are you crazy?
Let me take it back. I was like, I said, yes. And so, yeah. But that's the Steak and Shake, y'all. The Steak and Shake. So please, these beautiful ideas of engagements, and sometimes they are cute. I've seen some cute ones on the gram and TikTok and stuff. And other times there's a parking lot of a Steak and Shake. So don't sleep on those really romantic moments. Okay. Lisa says, I do I do listen in the beginning and take notes just in case we make it. Now I look at Wonderful because I remembered. Oh, Lisa's something else. And she said, first of all, Le Creuset is super pricey. That necklace was probably less than the Dutch oven.
Hey, he set that up perfect.
It could have been closer price or a little bit over. Yeah, because he had a mixture of white and rose gold and diamonds. So yeah, so it could have been, but it ain't like the Dutch oven's cheap. I'm not going to.
No, not at all.
Like, we're not gonna lie like that. There are some people that just know within months married is still all good. Actually, someone I know met online dating app and still happily married. Yeah, he said he knew within 3 months. I was like, seriously? I was really shocked because I was not.
I ain't doing it right.
Like, hey, I'm dating this guy. I'm feeling pretty good. Ron was concerned about who I was going out with. Like, who is this guy on the scene? And I was like, Ron, calm down. I mean, it's working out right now, so wish me luck.
He's super protective. Yeah, I'm not doing it right. If he doing it, I'm gonna have to pick his brain because I ain't doing it right.
Oh my goodness. I love Lisa who says that Le Creuset is that because we're trying to be a family show, that other side of the menu. Mom, close your ears.
All I'm saying is he had a great plan. You didn't know what it was, but he was like, they come next year. I'm gonna go with that. I got you, Mr. Jack. I got you. I see what you was doing.
So Cass, since you brought up, so he literally had, because he's a wallflower, and he brought out his tablet because he takes it to work, and he was like, I was looking at rings and I thought, this guy's he's making up, and so he shows me the rings he's looking at, and I was like, oh, he's really looking at rings. Oh my God. And then it was Your Love Is Lifting Me Higher came on the car radio, and he said, I need a moment. And
on the radio, or like was his phone like on the radio?
On the radio, yeah, on the radio.
Oh yeah, it was meant for y'all.
And he was like, I need a moment, and I was like, okay, but do you? Because I'm just looking at the range, I'm just and then he did this whole like, will you do me the honor, blah blah blah, and I was like, you're crazy.
That is lovely. I love it.
Yeah, it is. It is. It actually is. It was quite nice. She said, how long did you date before you got engaged? We met. Our meet and greet was on Kentucky Derby Day because I went late. I said, look, I have to watch the Kentucky Derby. I'm going to get there. But I'm going to be late. That was in May. And
greatest month.
In September.
Greatest
month. How many months is that? That's not, it wasn't a full year. I can tell you that. It's not a full year. So he said he knew. It was just a matter of finding the right time and everything. So, which if we can allude to next 2 weeks, because every 2 weeks, we're going to talk about dating apps because people, I don't know why some people act as if meeting on a dating app is so awful, just so unheard of. It is very heard of. People cut it out. But we will be discussing that on our next conversation. What day is that, Gary? The 16th?
The 16th, yes.
2 days after Valentine's Day. You'll have to tell us what you did for Valentine's Day, Gary.
Yeah. We're gonna see.
We're gonna see.
We're gonna see what I'm gonna do. I gotta figure out if I'm gonna do something. We're gonna see.
I mean, hey, I don't know what we're going to do. I mean, it's Friday. I don't know. Ron says, I was shocked. I knew he had to be awesome when she said yes. Ron was really shocked. As was the rest of the world, as my wedding was titled The Miracle Wedding. They're like, someone's marrying Gwendolyn. Oh, I got to see this. I must see this go down. Gotta see it. It's like, calm down. And she said, there is a stigma or maybe it's just me. I would feel embarrassed. Really? We're going to have to dig deeper. Oh, man.
That's interesting.
Very interesting. Because, it's just depending on where you are. Oh, I want to know if it's better to pay for the dating app. We are going
that's actually going to be a question. Yeah.
people talk about dating apps and everything. And I'm actually going to share a clip from a fellow friend, my Virgo brother. We'll share his clip because it's actually very telling about dating apps and the behaviors that come with. Some people are a little possessive. That's a little possessive. And man, I had so much content. It actually still is on YouTube because I had to go on twice. I did dating app before, dating app afterwards. I took like a little break to focus on Gwendolyn, and then I came back. But we're going to get into that. So first of all, let me say this to everybody. Hey, Gary, thank you. Thank you for holding it down for me when all the bells and whistles were not bells and whistling.
I tried to.
Belling and whistling? Is that how we say it? Belling and whistling?
I tried to, yes.
Oh. You know what? You would probably, you could probably benefit from a matchmaker. Because I believe, I'm thinking of that show, Millionaire Matchmaker.
Yeah, I was about to say that's what I was thinking about too.
I do think that there is a point where when you want to meet people of a certain caliber, of like ilk, that you are going to go to a different place. It is still a matchmaker. It's still that same kind of thing, but there's more of a filter to say that, hey, we are in line, so that you don't have the person who's just trying to get into your pockets. We've seen it. I mean, like if you remember Millionaire Matchmaker, you know that they were like, and tell me about this and tell me about that and da-da-da-da. And they're looking for, a particular person. I mean, it is what it is, right? Like that's just, or you could go old school. Like, do you know somebody? But then who do you know?
I was about to say, that's a telling thing right there. Who do you know? Who are you? And do I really trust your judgment?
Right. Like I got a friend who's looking for it. And it's like, yeah, that's a no.
The matchmaker thing. Yeah. I've never even thought about that.
Yeah.
Depending on what goes on with me in the next few months, I might need to explore that too. Good thought, Lisa. Good thought, Lisa.
Great thought, Lisa. We're going to bring all that up. First, foremost, Gary, thank you for holding it down as my co-host. Because all of the gremlins came out today. And I also want to thank everybody who decided to hang out and stay with me through all of the rain. I appreciate it, guys. I really do appreciate it. It does not go unappreciated. Trust me. Sometimes it just happens, but guess what? We're still here. And I absolutely love how when you are prepared for what could happen, you just that little thing in there and it works out. It works out for you. But we're coming back in 2 weeks. We're going to talk about you met on a dating app. And if you are a person who met someone on a dating app, we would love to have your stories. You can email me at g@ghrajack. That's a lot of letters.com. I would love to have your story. I got my own stories. A lot of stories. You can't make this stuff up. Somebody told me that I was a dude.
Oh.
I'm going to save it. I'm gonna save it. It's okay. I'm gonna save it.
Okay. All right.
I don't want to. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's a nice teaser. You're right.
It's a nice. I was like, okay. All right. Wow. We'll do that. So with that, okay, we got we got these last little comments coming in. Oh, professional matchmaker. Okay, great. So people are putting their comments about the matchmaker.
Okay.
That's awesome. It is Friday night. Want you guys to be safe this weekend. I am praying that you all are going to come back with us and be able to see another day and have a good time here with myself and Mr. Gary Jackson Jr. Man. Oh, boy. Yeah, I'm going to get into the rest of my cocktail because I'm going to need it right now.
Been all sipping this whole time.
See you guys. Thank you for watching another episode of Guuuuurl Listen. Be sure to tune in every other Friday at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time. And we also invite you to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel.